Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Wednesday, February 11th, 2015, around 8:13 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's cold out, some snow in the forecast for tomorrow, but that's going to be 1 to 2 inches around the Merrimack Valley area, a little more on the Cape, and Saturday into Sunday, another potential foot or more. We can't catch a break this winter with the snow. It's amazing. Just hope the snowy pattern breaks. It might break next week, but there's a possibility of a little bit of a warm-up, but that's going to come with rain. Oh, that's great. That's dangerous if we get a lot of rain. It could be a possibility of roofs collapsing, which is not good. And not too much news to report. I got a good positive feedback on the MBTA, State of the MBTA video blog, that one person commented that they should get funding and stuff, but the governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker, is not going to open up his wallet to fund the MBTA at all, and at $9 billion in debt. So there's a possibility there'll be service cuts in the coming years. And that's about it on that. My next subject is the final video subject of the night, personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is about one of the greatest goaltenders in NHL history, Grant Fuhr. Grant played close to 20 seasons in the NHL. He was one of the best goaltenders of all time. He spent most of his career with the Edmonton Oilers. Grant was born in Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada, and he was born to a African-American parent and one Caucasian parent, and was actually adopted by a family that was the same thing, one black parent and one African descent parent and one Caucasian parent. And he played junior hockey for the Victoria Cougars of the Western Hockey League as a goaltender. And Grant was an Ironman because the second year he was with Victoria, he played 58 games and he won 48 of them, which was pretty amazing. And Grant was drafted by the Edmonton Oilers for the first round, the 8th overall pick of the 1981 NHL entry draft. He played 20 seasons in the NHL. The first 9 of them moved the Edmonton Oilers, and he was a very star goaltender for them. He was the number 1 goaltender for them for about 8 seasons with them. He was he played in 6 NHL All-Star games. One time he was NHL first All-Star team. 1988 when he was second NHL All-Star team. He was 5 times he won the Stanley Cup championship with the Oilers. He was undefeated for rookies 23 straight games in a row. That was his first season, 1981, 1982. He also holds the most assists by an NHL goaltender, with 14 in the 1983-84 season. One time he was NHL Vezina Trophy winner in 1988, and with the Edmonton Oilers. And Grant was one of the best Oilers goaltenders of all time, probably the best one. He was very consistent. He started a lot of games and stuff. He won a lot of games for them. And Wayne Gretzky said he was the greatest goaltender he's ever played with. And Grant ended his reign in the Oilers as number 1 goaltender in 1990 when he got suspended by the NHL for violating the substance abuse policy, and he lost his starting goaltender job to Bill Ranford. And then the Oilers traded Grant to the Toronto Maple Leafs at the start of the 1991-1992 season. Then Grant bounced around from the Maple Leafs to the Sabres. He became backup to Dominic Hasek in 1993-1994. He said the William Jennings trophy for best goals against average for a goaltending tandem. And then Grant got traded to the LA Kings, and then he got traded to the St. Louis Blues, which he set a record for most appearances for an NHL goaltender in a season, with 79 in the 1995-96 season, and he started 75 straight games. That's a record. Grant Fuhr was an Iron Man, and then he bounced around a couple more teams. He ended his career with the Flames in the 1999-2000 season, and Grant Fuhr's career stats was 868 games played. His career record 403 wins, 295 losses, and 126 ties, 25 shutouts, a 3.38 goals against average, and a save percentage of .887. He played mainly in that offensive era of the NHL. So usually, if you had a three goals against average a game, you were a pretty good goaltender, and a save percentage wasn't that big then than it is now. And then for the playoff record, Grant Fuhr had a career record of 92-50, 2.93 goals against average, and .899 save percentage. Grant Fuhr, after he retired, he became goaltender coach for a few teams. His number 31 was retired by the Oilers in 2001. He's the greatest Edmonton Oilers goaltender of all time. 2003, he was a first ballot Hockey Hall of Famer, no surprise there. And he's probably goes down as probably the greatest one of the greatest goaltenders in the 1980s and stuff. And he was a money goaltender, in my opinion, and an Iron Man for goaltenders, because usually goaltenders play on average, if you're number one starting NHL goaltender, 60 to 65 games if you're a great one. And he almost set a record. He almost played every single one of the team's games in 1995-96, but he got hurt. No NHL goaltender has ever played in 82 games. That's the season's record. That an average team, every NHL team plays 82 games. Never see that in the NHL ever again. The last NHL goaltender tended to play all its games was back in 1963-64. Eddie Johnson, the Boston Bruins, with 70 games. You'll never see that. That was back then when they only carried one NHL goaltender per team, because that's the original 6. But Grant Fuhr almost broke that record. And that's about it on Grant Fuhr, one of the best NHL goaltenders of all time. Love doing these video blogs, Facebook friends, YouTube followers, Twitter, and Daily Motion. And tomorrow, 3 more video blogs. The first video blog will be about the top 10 greatest Oakland A's players of all time. And the second one could be a special one. Third and final video blog of the night will be about the personality profile. Personality profile tomorrow will be about Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest NBA players of all time, and probably the best NBA player in the from 1993 to 1995, when Jordan retired and went into to play minor league baseball. And more of these blogs are coming sooner. And then during March, reviewing WrestleMania, the best pay-per-view each year for the WWE. And also I'll do my baseball predictions of 2015, and also the NCAA men's basketball tournament preview. And sooner and later, Julie Button and Heidi Pratt's video blogs. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.